Aloha! How you doing? Welcome to Hibachi Talk. Gordo the Tech Czar here with my good old buddy.
So, brother.
Drew the security guy. How you doing, bud? Nice to see you.
Hey, good to be here.
I just I was on a wonderful trip and
Hillbillies in the house.
Hillbillies in the house.
You've been to Japan?
I've been to Japan.
How was that?
I'll let you know in just a second. Please pull up a towel and grab yourself a libation. I have little mini libations for libationettes here. So anyway, just grab yourself a libation and join us for another fun-filled show. We have an interesting guest today, Jake Lanning.
Yeah.
Gee, that last name sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I've heard it somewhere before.
I've heard it somewhere before. Anyway, Jake is a millennial.
Yes.
I know. We're gonna have some conversation with him. I can hardly wait. Different opinions on what it's like after college and working and that kind of stuff.
The working world from his perspective.
And he's got some challenges. I'll show a photo in a little bit of the challenges that he's going to have when he comes on.
Okay.
So we got that happening, and then we got our standard stuff. Got one tech job.
Okay.
I got what's the upside? I got one of those today.
Good.
I really got irritated at the governor's state of the state.
Okay.
So I watched it while I was in Japan. But I was in Japan.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
And was it beautiful?
It was.
How was the weather?
Chilly.
Yeah.
It was chilly. But I got to tell you one little story. I was in Japan. So I went to this church event, and there was 300,000 people at this event.
They're in one church. That's awesome.
Well, it's a temple. And
that's awesome,
they couldn't fit all 300,000 in the temple. But the temple in and of itself is about 1.5 acres.
Wow.
And but then there's 300,000 people. And so and all these benches, and it's a 4-hour service.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, and so you bring your own lunch and all this kind of stuff. And I said to myself, I had myself a little bit of trash. And I said, okay, I got to dump this trash somewhere, and there's no trash cans. And I said, this place is going to be a disaster. When everybody leaves, this place is going to look like a
mess. Sure.
Not one. So I'm at the end. I go, and I went back the next day, too. I'm at the end. Everybody leaves. There is not a single piece of trash.
They all took their trash with them?
They all took their trash with them. Not one, no, I'm talking nothing, nothing this big is even sitting there, anywhere.
Awesome. Very responsible churchgoers there.
They're very responsible.
What a group.
What a group, and I call that respect. 10,000 benches were all put away by the next morning.
Wow.
It was totally impressive. So, they got their
Was it an annual event that's held at that? I've seen pictures, you showed me pictures of that temple before.
Yeah, it was the 130th anniversary of the foundress of the Tenrikyo Church.
Wow.
So, it was quite the
300,000.
300,000 people. That's huge.
Good
They had
time.
helicopters over top.
Yeah. Drones? Was there drones?
Ooh, no drones.
There were no drones?
Wouldn't that have been cool?
Yeah.
I could have brought a drone and flown it from my bench.
See? You could have had it delivered.
While the service was going on.
You could have had it take your trash somewhere for you.
There you go. That would have been terrific. Yeah, I'll do it while the service is going on. That would have gone over really well with my with my lovely bride. Anyway, so I got some news.
Okay.
But I got did I put a got one tech job? I've been on jet lag.
I think you do. Yeah, when'd you get back? Yesterday?
I got back Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Wednesday. Was that yesterday?
You're still messed up.
I'm still all messed up. I've been up for like so many hours. Anyway, did we have a got one tech job?
We do.
Zuri? Did I throw one up there? I cannot seem to recall. And maybe I did. There it is. Okay, that's okay. That's right.
Come on.
Yeah, how can I forget?
I heard that's in Kailua.
Is it in Kailua?
Yes.
It's watch out Haole.
Somebody just.
There's a Haole in the ground.
Somebody worked on that sign. You don't think that was an honest mistake? I think it was a destructive mistake.
No, I think it's fun. Apparently, it's on Facebook now. It's showing up quite a few places. So.
Wow.
It kind of is that Kailua, or is it like Kapolei almost in some ways, with the fence and all that stuff.
I don't know.
Watch out, Haole.
Okay.
Got one tech job.
Okay.
That's your sitting and counting at work, or someone just messed with the sign.
We're not hiring that sign maker no matter what.
I think someone messed with the sign. Anyway, that's our got one tech job. I got a little bit of news.
Okay, what do you got?
Cool stuff today, kind of neat stuff. So, and I found this one particularly for Jake because of millennials get out of university. They're between jobs. Which costs money. They're between jobs.
Yes.
The job. Any millennial that comes to work with a lunch bag is a long-term employee. So anyway, so there's a university that I found called Udemy, Y-U-D-E-M-Y. So www.udemy.com. Go check it out. They have courses from anywhere from over 10,000 courses.
Wow.
These are great courses. Awesome. Great courses. Anywhere from $0 to like $25.
Like self-paced, just
self-paced. You can get your project management, coding, web development, Bitcoin, all kinds of different things.
All the things the millennials need to learn.
All the things that they need to learn.
So when you're in between jobs, you're supposed to be adding skills.
Exactly.
Add skills. Because
you
we
know-
know you have no experience.
Yes, right. So, so you sounds like a true Gen. What are
What
you?
am I?
You're the-
I'm a boomer. I'm 63.
Oh, you're a boomer. Yeah.
I'm thinking the last year of a boomer,
I'm
maybe.
a boomer. I'm an early
Yeah.
boomer. So anyway, so I would suggest you check that out. It's really cool. I just jokingly
cool.
put in stuff and boom, it shows up. They got courses on it,
Yeah.
and it's video lectures and all kinds of things like
Nice.
that. So very cool.
Yeah, free education, man. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, anywhere from, I know when you come out of university, you don't have a lot of money, but there's a lot of courses that are free.
Sure, that's
so
awesome.
Free 99 is Angus's favorite
right.
price.
I'm sure he's been
so,
on there.
So that's happened. That was good. The other thing is, and I've been following NASA, for a while. I had to do some news things on NASA.
Okay.
But it just came to mind the other day there, the Curiosity, the rover that
Mars
they
rover,
sent to
sure.
Mars. That puppy is still going.
Yeah.
It's 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
This thing is
awesome.
still running. It's way outlived the term it has to. It's been expected, and it's still sending back valuable data today.
A selfie. It looks like a selfie. It watches itself work.
Well, I hope it's a selfie.
Yeah.
Think about you. Think about what
Who
you
else
just
took
said.
it?
Oh no! He stopped a little Martian walking by.
Yeah.
I said, "Excuse
Hey,
me,
could you
please
snap my photo?"
Take a photo. Anyway, so Curiosity is still going. It's been on Mars since January 24th, 2004. It's unbelievable. I just love it. The fact that we've got, the human being created that. Most of them were boomers. So, just joking. Anyway, so speaking, now we'll move forward. So there's an interesting, we've been talking about, all kinds of different, the Internet of Everything.
Sure.
And there's been lots of studies on putting chips in your body and things like that.
Yeah.
So there's a group of scientists who have come up with a implantable chip. It's called a bioabsorbable chip. What happens is it goes in, it does diagnostics on you, but it dissolves over time. So you don't. It
never comes
the
back out.
The body doesn't come back out, and the body doesn't reject it. So they're doing some tests, neurological tests. Boy, I have neurological testing with rats right now in the brain, and they're getting all kinds of great information that's coming out of the brain that typically would require some invasive procedures. So my wife's a neurology nurse, so this is kind of intriguing for her. But it's kind of neat. But it's it's degradable, so it doesn't have to be taken out. It doesn't get a number of things happening to it. So it's not relatively new, but it's get ready for this. This thing I think is going to be out
It's like
pretty
a
soon.
some nanotechnology?
Yeah,
or
some
is it-
nanotechnology. These are chips that are biodegradable in fluid and environmental of a living creature. They
Wow.
dissolve after a few days. The
Wow.
biochips are made biologically inert materials, and like silicone, and they can do it for pre-brain surgery or post-brain surgery. They can track for swelling of the brain, fluid buildup. All
So
kinds
right
of
now
things.
it's just animals though, or are they
Right
using it on
now,
people
yeah,
already?
No, they're doing it on rats right
That's
now.
awesome.
But that's people ever ask you why come they do it on rats and not other things? Because rats have a lot of things that are similar to human beings.
Humans, yeah.
Yeah,
We
so-
share a lot of same code, right? Same code base.
That's something like that. By no means.
GCGAH, whatever. There's not that many DNAs.
Yeah, wow, that's because you're. What was your major again?
I don't remember.
Anyway, so Bitcoin. Now I'm going to do Bitcoin 101, but
Okay.
Bitcoin was in the news. So I wanted to
Yeah.
do a little Bitcoin in the news. And so just to show you how volatile Bitcoin is. So one of the Bitcoin oldest developers announced about 7 days ago that he felt that it was the technology wasn't going to make it. And he had irreconcilable, how do you say that in a divorce?
Irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable. Why? I cannot talk today.
It's 'cause of that jet lag.
Irreconcilable differences, and speaking Japanese. Irreconcilable differences. I can't say it. With the other software team. So they had a falling out. So now he's saying it's not going to work.
I see.
And so right after that, the thing
Tanked.
tanked.
What did it go down to?
It dropped down to about the low threes.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
'Cause
within
it
a-
still started in the twos. I'd be long time.
13. You know what?
Earlier
At one point, Bitcoin was 13 cents. So at one point it was $1,100. At one point it was 13 cents. Not this week.
That's volatile.
That's volatile. But anyway, it dropped right like a rock right afterwards. Not that much. Not like the stock market, but it's bounced up to over 400 within a week.
Again?
Now it's about 380.
Came back.
Came back. So anyway,
I'm buying in. I got me a broker.
so I'm
a
putting,
Bitcoin
yeah,
broker.
so that's me. Putting a little hooey together, and again, don't buy Bitcoin. I'm not telling you to buy Bitcoin because I don't want someone yelling at me say I lost all my.
You told me to
all
buy
my money.
some.
I asked you if you wanted to get in on something. That's only because I'm taking a point off the top.
That's right. What goes around, we got to support Angus somehow.
Anyway, we got Bitcoin 101. So last week I gave a basic introduction,
Yes.
how it got started. So if you want to know, I'm not going to go over the first one. You've got to go back and watch the show. So, hey, it's how we get people in there. We almost got 1,000 viewers, by the way. We're getting
That's right.
So anyway, 2008, 2009, this came out. It's a peer-to-peer way of cryptocurrency, kind of like your miles on
your
airline
plane.
miles
Yeah,
and
we
so on.
talked
So
about that.
anyway, so the next thing is, okay, how does it work? And actually it's mathematics, and I'm not going to get into the details of it.
That's
But
good.
every time a Bitcoin gets traded or moves, there's a blockchain that gets put together. And this is an example of what a blockchain looks like when someone buys, purchases, sells, buys cards or whatever. These numbers get inserted into these chains of tracking the Bitcoin. So right now there's about 15.6 million Bitcoins in use right now. There's a cap at 21 million. Next, in 2017, about another 2 million Bitcoins are going to be introduced into the market.
Awesome.
And it's hard to say what that will happen that will do when it's in the market. But it's this mathematical model that keeps this thing secure. And then you and I end up with these cryptology keys. You have a private one and a public one that gets overlaid into it. So when you hear that mining, which I'll talk about next, is mining this blockchain. So again, real simple. Airline miles, now a chain of numbers that gets put together to make it secure. And then the mining of it is to find the little pennies that fall off that people can mine to build up their Bitcoin base, like you're mining for gold. Anyway, we'll talk about that next week. So that's Bitcoin 101.
I'm getting in some, so it better work.
Yeah. So anyway, it better. So now let's give you your security minute. You can talk about why we shouldn't be buying Bitcoins.
Why we shouldn't be buying Bitcoins.
Do you have a security
I
minute?
have a
believe
security
you do.
minute. I sent it in. I think Zuri's got a quick image there. This article came out, Ars Technica this week, and it was really an interview of some folks that were talking about the problems with IoT, and that
IoT being?
The Internet of Theft,
Okay.
the Internet of things, people call it. You call it the Internet of Everything. But the article just really discussed, to break it down, is that a lot of the manufacturers are really just racing to the bottom, and they're just not concerned with putting security technology into their devices because they're chasing lower and lower price points, and security costs money. So do not count on the manufacturers to do that. No one thinks they're going to. And if you're getting these devices and you don't know what you're doing and you're basically putting them online, like this is a picture of some baby sleeping in its crib, right? That was snapped off of Shodan. You can go to sites like Shodan HQ and search. All of this kind of stuff is out there and it's available, and these bots are constantly crawling looking for it. So don't think that you won't be affected if you put your device somewhere insecurely. And the device probably doesn't have any security in it, so if you really don't know, you need to get some help with that type of implementation in your home before you open it up.
Yeah, and like I said last week, I had a router replaced, by the local internet service provider. They put it in, and the admin
He left it defaulted.
wide open.
Sure.
The admin was there and defaulted.
And last week, like Fortinet revealed that they have a backdoor in their stuff. Another big manufacturer, I forget the name, revealed the same thing. So a lot of these guys that have been building very secure stuff are starting to reveal that they had backdoors built in basically for admin, so that they could go in and do maintenance and things like that. So a lot of the engineering is starting to come out and show that it's got a lot of flaws in its security. So we're really at just the beginning of finding out how bad things are, unfortunately. So you can protect yourself, just be smart.
We tell everybody. So anyway, it's time to go grab Angus.
Let's get Angus
And
off
we'll
the
get
beach.
Angus off the beach, and then we'll go get Jake.
Yep.
And he can come and talk about the challenges he has as a millennial.
Millennials
coming into
in the
this
workforce
that we created for him. Anyway, we are going to go get Angus, and we'll be back after we pay a couple of bills.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on Think Tech. This show is so very dear to my heart. We talk with artists of various different ilk here about the process that they go through for their art. So we talk about what they're doing, why they are doing it, how they do it. And it's a show that is inspiring. This is what I hear from people all the time. And a show that will teach you something, sometimes something about yourself. I hope you'll join us. The show is Center Stage. It's on Think Tech every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Aloha, my name is Reg Baker, and I'm the host of Business in Hawaii with Reg Baker. Business in Hawaii is a program that is positive stories about business in Hawaii. We're tired of hearing the negativity and why it's the wrong place to have a business. We talk about the positive reasons for having a business in Hawaii and how to be successful. We broadcast live every Thursday at 2 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you. Aloha.
Aloha, namaskar, and hello. My name is Anu Hittel, and I host the show called Climate Change Beyond Outrage. We go beyond outrage to find solutions to climate problems facing people, nations, and the world. I hope you will join me here every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We broadcast live from thinktechhawaii.com. Aloha and bye-bye.
Aloha. Welcome to Think Tech Hawaii. My name is Josh Green. I'm a senator from the Big Island and a physician. I host a show weekly called Healthcare in Hawaii, where we talk about the most important issues in healthcare for our state, whether it's the dengue fever outbreak, the state of our public hospitals, how to find physicians and nurses for our patients, or really just the best things to do for our family's health. That's what you'll find on this show. I'll bring experts to your attention, and we'll have a free-flowing dialogue. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, I'm Stan, the Energy Man, Stan Osterman, and I'm here to tell you about my show on Friday, every Friday, on my lunch hour, 12 o'clock till 1 o'clock here on Think Tech Hawaii. We talk about everything energy and anything you ever wanted to know about energy. So we're full of energy, and we'll see you here every Friday at noon to 1. Aloha.
Hey, all right, welcome back to Hibachi Talk. I'm here with Gordo. We found Angus. He was down on the beach. Angus, what's going on, buddy?
Aloha, Drew. How
Hey,
you
what's
doing,
up, man?
man?
All right.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you,
Yeah,
sir.
it's been awesome. I've had an awesome week. It's great when Gordon's out of town. I can have so much fun. I take care of his apartment for him.
What have you been doing?
Oh, I didn't never say. A few lossies were visiting. That's all I can say.
I bet.
Anyway, I got something I want to say to Jake, just because he's a millennial, you know? Millennial. I got to tell him what, you know. Jake, remember this real closely. Life is what happens while you're looking at your mobile phone.
Yeah.
So stop looking at your mobile phone and enjoy your life. Anyway, that's what's going on in there. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what gadget I would have this week. You know what? And I've been looking for a new TV. So I'm trying to figure out how big a TV do I want? Do I want 37 inches, 42 inches, 50 inches, 90 inches? What do I want to get? Well, guess what? It depends. So it depends on recommendations. So I'm going to give you some advice. So this is a picture that I got of where you're sitting from your TV. And so THX, and there's different places. So this, THX says if you're about 9 feet away, a TV around 90 inches would be pretty good. And if you're 68 inches away, then or less than that, maybe around 70 inches, something like that. But there's a whole mathematical formula, so you can check it out online, and then it'll tell you which way you do. But you know what I found out the best way to measure it?
How's that?
Your significant other. If she doesn't like what you got to pick what she tells you to get, and that's all there is to it.
Smart guy.
But anyway, if you need to help justify why you need to get a bigger screen, because bigger is better, you just show her this picture, say, yeah, I want to get my 90-incher up there. And then go from that. Anyway, that's my news for my gadget for today. Go check out the TV sizes. And by the way, don't buy the 4D. It don't matter. A human eye cannot see what's going on in the 4D. So didn't go spend your money on that.
4D.
So 4D, that's right. Anyway, that's my gadget for the day, or my advice for the day. And remember everybody, let your wind gang free wherever you be. Aloha!
Nice. Angus is shopping for more devices as usual. So yeah, I've heard 3.5 times the vertical dimension is a pretty good measurement also for your screen if you're looking for some help with that. We got Jake Lanning in the house, a millennial, gonna talk to us about what it's like in life after college. Jake, how you doing? My son. Nice to have you.
Jake, nice to see you again, bud. Great.
Good to have you on Hawaii time.
Yeah.
So that's right. You're visiting from where?
Louisville, Kentucky.
And
Louisville,
where were you
Kentucky.
born?
Honolulu.
Right on.
Kaiser Permanente.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
He's a Hawaii baby.
Oh. So, wow, that's
So
cool.
tell us where you went to school and
Yeah.
tell us about your upbringing.
All right. Well, I public school kid from Louisville, Kentucky. Graduated from Ballard High School. And I ended up going to University of Kentucky for a little bit. Transferred back to U of L, which is a little bit of a problem if you live in Louisville.
University.
Yeah, University of Louisville, which is a big rivalry sports-wise. So it's a little bit hard. I'm wearing UK stuff to all my presentations. got threatened with, they're gonna knock me a letter grade if I do it again.
They take their
kinda
basketball
thing.
seriously there.
Yeah, it's a little bit serious at Kentucky. So
Do you have to red shirt even if you're not playing sports?
I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, so I graduated from U of L this past May with a degree in exercise physiology.
Right on.
Really interesting stuff, very practical information that I use every day. Just how to live better, live healthier. Obviously getting in the gym and things like that.
So are you making a living at
Oh,
exercise
absolutely
physiology?
not. That's a dream.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a dream. Yeah.
So how'd you get into, what drove you to study exercise physiology?
And not anthropology like your father
yeah.
did.
I don't even know how to spell anthropology. I'm not sure that's even a degree anymore.
Nice.
But
Thank you.
yeah, so it was just all really interesting to me. I originally wanted to be a vet, but that's like 9 years.
Yeah.
That's
schooling?
a lot of
Okay.
school, and I'm not a big fan of Auburn, so you kind of have to go to Auburn.
Auburn.
In the
Midwest.
East, okay.
Not a big fan. So went to biology. That's just not like, I don't care so much about crustaceans and everything else that's not
amoebas?
around. Yeah, amoebas, the microbiology and all that stuff is just not that entertaining for me. So I kind of found physiology and anatomy of the human body, which is, like I said, just really practical, all very practical information that I use, just, vitamins, minerals, why drinking more water is helpful, it makes you feel better, things like that.
6 cups of coffee
yeah,
a day is not something you should be doing.
Well, maybe like throughout a week,
Yeah.
one a day.
One a day.
So were you active in sports?
Yeah,
Is that what drove you to, okay.
Yeah, and initially, I wanted to get into more prehabilitation instead of rehab. I don't want injured.
You don't want to fix up the old
athletes.
guys
I
like
don't want.
us?
I don't want to fix people from being broken. I want to help them from not breaking.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's kind of what I want to do in that field. But yeah, I played lacrosse in high school. Ended up being all-state my senior year, but I got a season-ending concussion my junior year.
I witnessed
And,
that.
Yeah, it was
Season-ending concussion.
Yeah, season-ending.
So there's an interesting thing. Pause for a moment. Season-ending concussion
As
playing
a-
lacrosse.
as a junior in
As
high
opposed
school.
to football, if you get a concussion, they don't season-end you.
Is that right?
No way.
Not common. Certainly not common.
You'll be out for maybe a couple of games or
Yeah.
maybe a game.
Wow.
But you're not going to get a season-ending.
Was that a part of the protection that they offered? Did they or the doctor just said you're done for the season?
Yeah, no, he told me I was done. And
Wow.
concussion, just kind of the protocol has really increased. Like, I'm still coaching now, so for our my high school players, we'll have a preseason protocol that we'll put them through, testing that we'll put them through, and then if they get hit during practice, during a game, whatever they feel any kind of way about it, they'll redo that same test, and then based on the differences in those tests, we keep them out for an extended period of
I
time
see.
until they kind of get back to their normal scores.
So you've
But,
got a baseline
yeah.
established
Yeah,
that you can
absolutely.
compare
Absolutely.
them to.
It's very
Awesome.
important.
So why aren't they
Especially
doing
at young
that
ages, too.
with football? I'm just
Yeah.
wondering because my
Well, I know in the
grandson is a
mainland they
football
are.
player.
He got his bell
And
rung
he's
a bit
had,
this
he's
year.
had a few,
Yeah.
but was never out for the
Season ending.
season.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, like you
just-
said, if you can come back to baseline performance, then they know you're healed. But he got a really bad
Oh,
one.
so you didn't come back to baseline?
Well,
they had
We're
no
still not
they-
sure if he's back.
No, I.
He ain't back. We know that.
No, it was about 4 months after I got that concussion, April 27th.
Wow.
No, March 27th. And then I wasn't really right until after July
Wow.
of that year.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and I took my ACTs concussed. I finished out that semester of school concussed. My doctor told me I'm not really supposed to be reading. I'm not supposed to be watching TV a lot.
Wow.
I'm not supposed to pick up my lacrosse stick and run around anymore because just the physical jostling.
Right.
Obviously,
You must have got
you know,
whacked pretty good.
I'm gonna do all of that stuff, minus the reading so much. But,
Bounce back to your senior year,
it
though.
wasn't me getting hit. It was the floor, the ground.
Yeah, when
I
you hit
tell
the
you, it
ground.
is very unforgiving.
Yeah.
Even with the helmet. We have pretty serious helmets, and I had a fairly top of the line helmet at that time. But man, that ground is unforgiving.
It's not the fall, it's the sudden stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
So did you continue lacrosse in college? Did you?
I played a little bit of club, but I really got into coaching. As soon as I graduated,
Right on.
I immediately went back on the coaching staff of the high school that I graduated from.
Oh, right on.
So I've been coaching for 5 years. This will be my 5th or 6th
So
season
and
now.
the exercise physiology helps that, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of known as the coach that nobody likes because I train them hard.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we beat them up pretty good. A lot of running, a lot of up downs, stuff to really get them going. And everybody, especially in lacrosse now, it's really, you can have such a wide variety of athletes. Like for me, I'm not tall enough to play basketball. I'm not strong enough to play football or big enough, but I had a little bit of speed and a little bit of athleticism, so I could kind of get around people on a lacrosse field.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My nephew's a lacrosse in Canada.
Awesome.
He plays it.
Oh
big
yeah,
time.
oh it's great up there.
It's, yeah, huge.
I've played against some Canadians and they just run circles. It's so impressive.
It's the beer. It's that beer. They
Yeah.
So when you graduate, you're coaching in the field, you want to work in that field with that degree. What are the challenges when you exit college with that degree and you want to make some money, right? You
Yeah,
got to make a
so
living.
basically, the last semester at U of L, each class that I had was basically geared toward a certain certification.
Okay.
One was strength and conditioning. The SCSC or CSCS, whichever one, is a nationally known certification program for power sports, strength and conditioning, team-oriented things. One was more personal training, and pretty much anybody can go online and take about like a 4 to 6 week course and be certified in personal training.
I know that.
As a personal
that's kind
trainer,
of lame.
is that kind of hokey?
It can be.
I see. If you're not studied, if you don't have the background.
Yeah, a lot of the information is out there on the internet, which actually made my degree a lot easier to get. I didn't have to buy all the textbooks. Because really the information is there, and it's accurate, but it's how do you use it.
I see.
So in the classroom is where I learned how to connect the dots better and really be efficient in the information that was given to me. And then, all the other stuff, you just kind of adapt on your own. Because I believe that no one protocol is the best way to train.
Sure.
Everybody's going to react
it's different for everybody.
Everybody's
gonna
going to
react
be different.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's physically different. I mean, and the thing is, we never stay the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Constantly changing, injuries, whatever it may be. So
age.
I
mean, like if my bags under my eyes got any bigger, they're going to charge me for carry-on. Carry-on.
So you want to go. So you're coaching, and you got the degree, and it pays like you're making the big money now.
No, not in that. I mean, no, not absolutely not.
But there is opportunity,
So
right?
what was next? What would you have to do to start working in that field? Like what was?
You have to get your certifications.
Okay.
You have to. You have to go back to get a master's degree if you're not going to get those certifications.
I see.
And really, it's like right now. I think as kind of seen in Hawaii, there's so many different types of workout facilities, different gyms, 24-hour fitness, anytime fitness. That all competes with the YMCA.
Sean Penn or whatever.
With, the UFC gyms.
gyms.
There's so many different types of gyms, and now people want to go more towards the $9 a month gym than the big facilities. So they make all their money off training. So you have to be a trainer. It's really hard to make money opening a gym.
Gosh, yeah.
For me, coaching is just more of a passion, and it allows me to do that. But if I wanted to make money and doing what I want to do, I would have to get my certifications and then most likely go back to get a sports training degree or something like that to be a part of a team type, which I would want to do. I want to be part of like a university team in their training.
So let's kind of hold that.
That's a good poignant pause.
Because I want to talk to you about working within the generations a little bit on that. So we'll talk about that when we come back after we take a small short break. Pay some bills, and we'll see you in a minute.
Hi, I'm Ethan Allen, host of Likeable Science on Think Tech Hawaii. Come join us every Friday at 2 p.m. when I interview interesting scientists about what they do, why they do it, and why we should all care about it. It's a lot of fun to see. We hear, and you can learn interesting stuff. You'll hear all kinds of fascinating science, and we know you'll have a great time. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Hello. I'm Stephen Katz, and I'm the host of Shrink Wrap, which comes to you live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on Think Tech hawaii.com, and then it's repeated again whenever you want if you go to the website. On our show, we will be talking to all different kinds of therapists, psychologists, psychoanalysts, psychiatrists, people who talk about the mind, the brain, and about different ways to find happiness. I myself am a marriage and family therapist in practice here in Hawaii, and I hope you will join us because I've got a lot to learn, you've got a lot to learn, and it's a great ride. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Aloha, how you doing? And welcome back to Ivachi Talk, Gordo the Tech Czar, Drew the security guy, and Jake Lanning is our guest today. You know, he's a millennial, just got out of university a while ago, studying some interesting career path. I like where you're going. Anyways, before we continue on with this story, I wanted to, what's the upside? So the upside, this past week, the governor did State of the State. And so in the State of the State, he said something, and I'm going to quote this. It said, "I am committed to transforming the culture of government to embrace and accelerate change. We need to invest in our employees, and ask them that what changes can be made to improve service and reduce costs." I can't talk today at all. "And we need to support them when we make those changes." Now, I have a photo here that kind of, after he said that came to me, and I went, how many construction or government projects do I see where there's one person doing the job and there's 10 others that are standing around watching this person do the job from whatever the department is within government. So anyway, my comment on this is like, okay, committed to transforming the culture of government to embrace and accelerate change. What we need is to invest in our employees and ask them what changes can be made to improve service and reduce costs. My comment is privatization. Now with that, I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble. HGA union guys are going to be all over my case. But you're only going to get, this place has got to get it better. We've got to privatize a lot of the things that we're doing in government. Anyway, that's what's the upside?
Thank you. I agree.
All I'm going to say. Okay.
I agree.
So anyway, Jake Lanning, nice to have you here in the house. Just graduated from
University of Louisville.
University of Louisville with a degree in
Exercise physiology.
Exercise physiology.
And went to work in?
Well, I went to work in fast food. To start, yeah, fast food management.
Management?
Oh, well,
so picked up a franchise. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
So I picked up, I joined a franchise group that, Raising Cane's, which is real popular chicken fingers restaurant on the mainland. They don't have one here yet.
Oh, they don't have
one?
one?
But all they sell is...
Zuri loves that place.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of her favorite places.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chicken fingers, toast, coleslaw, fries, and 2 sauces. That's what we got.
That's the menu.
If you don't like chicken tenders, that's not the place for you. But I tell you what, the chicken tenders are good. That's where I found myself.
And so what attracted you? How was the management program?
Well, while I was in college, I managed a sandwich shop for about 2 years. So I just, it was easy work, food, service, whatever, customer service, things like that. So I kind of had a background in it, I would say. But I mean, the reason I joined it was because they were going to offer me more money than anything that I had applied for.
Exercise physiology.
Yeah, and anything that I wanted to do, for sure.
Right.
And, bills to pay, trying to get out the house, things like that. So money.
So you took
money.
the job.
So what's the average age of the group that you work with? Because you're the generation that has to deal with multiple generations of the workforce that no generation, my generation didn't have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
The generation after me didn't have to deal with it. But now you've got traditionalists, which are pre-boomers, boomers, all the way to where you are now. And everybody's different. So I have a couple of shots maybe I sent you of what you're up against.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a challenge.
Well, it's definitely different. Like I was at the operations level, operations management of a single location. So my management team was all around my same age.
Okay.
The crew that we had, our crew members ranged from 16 years old to 61.
Okay.
How's that?
There you
61, yeah.
How do you train a 61-year-old to do anything?
You don't. you try and you do not. It does not.
Wow.
It's not a successful process.
Wow.
some stubborn people.
It's there.
Stubborn
That's it.
people.
It's his people.
You know.
Better
Call
than my
that
people.
set in their way.
Yes, exactly. Well, and that's
There they are.
There they are,
we
right?
recognize that.
Yeah.
We absolutely
So you got.
recognize
So there
that.
you go. You've got traditionalists, the boomers, X's, Y's, and Z's. So you're
Wow.
Y.
Yeah.
So you're in the Y, and then you got the Z's coming up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what.
Plenty of those.
And they're all in the workforce.
Yeah.
And I bet you the 1922 to 1945 and the 2001 to present, that's really got. They're so similar.
No, you can't talk to those two people in the same way.
No.
You can't train them the same way. You can't come at them from a management standpoint in the same way.
Wow.
Like the young people who who work for me, you know, they're very sensitive in how you approach them.
Here
They
you
don't.
go. They're more touchy feely.
Yeah, they don't. They're not used to face-to-face kind of conflict, kind of like.
Oh, they want you to text them their instructions?
Yeah, similar.
Tweet me my
it's kind of things like that. Like they're, you know, so much is done on social media.
Wow.
Where they don't have to see the response.
We got a tweet in from Roseph Palazzo. At Roseph Palazzo tweeted in, he wanted to know what role you thought social media will play in the workplace in years to come.
Well, and I think right now for the generation that's coming up, being mine and the X, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it can be debilitating a little bit for a workplace.
Wow, okay.
I mean, even in the orientation that I had to give several new crew members, there was a privacy policy for social media for our crew members. Like, you cannot go on and post about Raising Cane's. You cannot, you know, talk about your fellow crew members. You cannot, you know, name any kind of the information that you're given as a crew member as far as, you know, ingredients, how exactly our processes go. You can't talk about any of that stuff.
Interesting.
But it doesn't mean people don't.
Sure.
While I was there, we had some disgruntled crew member from a different Raising Cane's. They revealed our sauce mixture, our sauce ingredients, which is a problem because that's all we sell, right? That's Raising Cane sauce. That's what it's
that
called.
is your intellectual property.
So that's a problem.
Sure.
But you know, they seem to deal with conflict a lot differently.
Oh yeah,
Very much more.
Very much differently.
Yeah. Very
Well, if you look at it, and Zuri, you had the slide up earlier that shows. Look at how they're brought up. If you look back on the technology of choice back in my earlier days and the traditional days was television. That was
Okay.
it. That was the new and the greatest.
Yeah, because
right?
before that was radio.
And now you come all the way
like
to
an
the internet.
abacus.
Now it's the internet.
Yeah, abacus.
Yeah.
Abacus. Gee, thanks a lot. Hey, it's Chinese New Year. So anyway,
That's
but
true.
coming back, you come to the other side. It's the internet, right? It's the internet of everything. So you've got
Yeah,
social media all the way to television.
Yeah,
So-
what's your social media of choice and what do you folks use? What apps are on your phone?
I don't tweet often, but I like to read Twitter. I like to read what comedians have to say.
You're a voyeur, kind of a voyeur.
I like to see what other people's
Toyer?
opinions are.
A
Is that what you
toy,
call it?
yeah,
A
what is
toyer?
it when you're,
I
I don't know, when it's on social media. So, Rosa Palazzo also wanted to know what's on your shirt.
This is actually, we started a lacrosse company between myself, actually, Brosa Palazzo.
Oh, is that why he wants you to
I
say the
think
name?
so.
You
I
better
think
say it
he's
for him.
name dropping a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is our lacrosse company we started in Louisville, Kentucky, to try to grow the game of lacrosse in Louisville, outside of the public or the private school monopoly that exists there.
Okay.
So we kind of extended more to the west and south ends, trying to bring in youth to the sport, and it's worked out really well. We started over this past summer. We opened up with 36 slots.
Okay,
We ended up with over 50 kids.
that's awesome.
So we had to, we panicked. We're like, grab another coach, and we need more fields. And but it happened, and it
That's
worked really
great.
well.
And the company's called?
Lax Dogs.
There you go.
Absolutely, Lax Dogs LLC.
Let's make Joseph happy.
You should get Raising Cane to help sponsor you guys.
Well,
After they
actually-
open
Well,
one here,
let's
Zuri's
finish.
gonna
Let's
run.
finish that story up. So,
Yeah. So, I actually.
Look at this. Shout out to Raising Cane.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, guys.
It would do well. I
Yeah,
mean,
it would.
it's good. It's good food.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my experience did not pan out to be what I thought it was going to be. I managed there for about 6 months, and they have this training protocol that I was not able to finish because they needed me to fill a spot where 2 managers were let go. So I was put in my position without really understanding what my responsibilities were,
That's not
how
good.
exactly to address
Yep.
The problems that I would come into
Encounter from that
contact
role.
with. Yeah,
Sure.
Yep.
So that became an issue. And
you.
it kind of became a constant issue on various levels of the managing.
So did you feel that they had unfairly, had what they had promised you they didn't give you, or did you?
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. They sold it as a great company to work for. Everybody there is young. I mean,
I was going to ask that. What's
the
management?
the owners, probably 65.
Oh gosh! So now
So
you're.
our operations level, the HR director, at that level, they're all mid-30s.
Okay.
And then at my level, at the location, it was between basically, I'm being the youngest, 22 to 30 maybe,
Okay.
at the oldest, with
And-
my management
wow.
staff. And
That's
then,
tough.
but the crew age from, like I said, 16 to 62,
Yeah.
61.
So what did you find that enticed you away from there?
So I was just looking for something more stable, with a little more maybe growth into other sections, other industries. So a company that I found myself really interested in is called Alro Steel.
Alro. Okay.
They started in '48, steel distribution company. Steel's a very mature.
Well, no kidding. The Chinese kicked our butt.
It's a
on
very mature industry right now, but they, in the last 10 years, have branched into plastics,
Okay.
which
And they're distributors.
yeah, and they're distributors, and they're
To like automobile industry and manufacturing industries. Okay.
into fabrication industries. So they house over $1 million of what do you call it? Inventory on site, and they're ever expanding. They're $1.7 billion last year.
Wow.
Only 5 or 6% of that was plastics,
Okay.
but everybody from their CEO steel side, the vice president plastic side, who I got to sit down and talk with, are all very, very excited about the growth that will happen from the plastic side because it's such a new market.
Okay.
It's such a new industry that has so many different applications, from industrial things, but also medical. And I think the medical upside
That's
is
the
probably
piece.
going to be one of the biggest.
And your school studies with, the human body
yeah,
and
physiology,
exercise and all those things.
So what role are you taking?
So I'm doing inside sales. So I'm actually going from a management perspective down to entry level inside sales. I don't necessarily have any sales experience.
Okay. Are they
which
gonna?
is-
They have
which
a
is gonna
training
be
program for
interesting,
that?
yes, but my training program is going to be 6 months.
Okay. Wow.
Before I even really get into what my position is going to be. And I'm really interested in that. I'm really excited about that because having been in a position where I was thrown to the dogs, basically,
Yeah.
it'll be nice to know what I'm doing.
I like this.
When you sit down to do it, finally.
So anyway, we're running,
That's awesome.
as usual, we're running out of time. But quick message to millennials out there, or Gen X's, or the traditional boomers, whatever. Try to get along.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe be a little more open-minded from the older generations, and the younger generations who are just now entering the workforce. Don't be afraid to set yourself apart. Don't be afraid to come in as a young person and take a leadership role. Don't sit behind your phone, don't sit behind social media and make decisions. Be vocal and be in everybody else's face about what changes you see and what changes they could possibly be made.
That is
Nice.
awesome. That
Thank
is
you.
awesome. That's
That's
a
good
segment,
advice for anybody.
That's a segment that will get cut out of this show and made into the.
He might
the
go
chain.
viral.
He might go viral. Anyway, we want to thank Jake. It was great
Thanks so
having
much
you on
for
the
having
show.
me,
It was
son.
awesome.
Good job.
Happy to be
Andrew, as always. Zuri and Nick, thanks a lot. You helped make this thing look polished. I mean, it's amazing what we can do when you got pros behind us. Anyway, once again, thank us all. Thank you all for joining us on Hibachi Talk and Think Tech Hawaii. And once again, as we always say to all of our viewers, hey,
How you
doing?